founder of Protea Financial, and this is episode 42 from a hot autumn day in California. Can you believe it? It's September 24th. We're officially in the autumn time. Pumpkin spice is wild. I already have Halloween decorations up, much to my disgust, but the pleasure of my children. And we're starting to think about year end. It's pretty crazy to think that we're a couple of days away from October, and that's when we start our planning to make sure that our teams are in a good mindset to help our clients get through what is a very difficult time of the year, and that is year end. There's a ton of additional responsibility that comes with year end, and we want to make sure that we're ready for it. Now, a reminder last week, what I spoke to you all about was, hey, it's that time of the year again. We're running into the situation where your taxes have just been filed for your business, and you're maybe contemplating, do I have the right accounting resources in place? Do I have the right day-to-day bookkeeper? Do I have the right tax provider? And I spent some time last week ranting and raving. I did get a little heated, no joke about that, on how to assess if you have a good resource in place rather than it potentially just being you being the problem. And I gave you some suggestions on, hey, this is how things could improve. This is what you could look for in an accountant, and this is how you can change. And like clockwork, my requests for clients increased. Like people came to us like, hey, we're looking for a new accountant. Like that question has popped up more than once. And it's intriguing to me to understand the psychology of business owners. They're coming to me because they know what they currently have in place is inefficient, is not working, and they 100% definitely need to make a change. This year, more than most, and I get it, it's a tougher economic environment. Wineries are struggling. That's our core target. Money plays a factor. But for more times than ever, I've heard that might be too expensive for us. And I can tell you, we are one of the more affordable options out there. We're not cheap, never try to say that, but we try to be affordable and reasonable and work within budgets. And what's always interesting to me is I am clearly offering you more. You're coming to me because you believe we can do a better job than your current accountant. And that's probably because you've read about us, seen information about us, or in 99% of the cases, they've been referred by a friend or a partner to say these guys are great to do it. And then you're shocked when you get better service, more service, and it's going to cost you more money. I get it. Money is tight. Cash flow is important. Accounting is a grudge purchase. Do I really have to spend so much money? But if you don't have accounting information, if you do not have financial records to even understand what your business is doing, surely an investment in a service that can provide you with the information to better run your business is worth every penny. That's the way I think about it. I think about it so much that I allocated one of my best resources in my company to handle our internal accounting. Because when I was doing it, information was always late because I was busy. Information maybe wasn't the best because I'm not thinking about everything. And I was just not even really taking account compliance stuff. So I got somebody whose their primary focus is to make sure I have good information and report to me on a regular basis so then I can react to what is happening in my company. I am willing to spend that money to make sure I have that good information so I can better run my business. And I get a little, I guess frustrated is the right word, when people don't want to spend that money. So it did make me question, am I kidding myself? Do I think we're affordable and maybe we're really expensive? Possible. So I thought I'd ask a question. Now, I've seen this before on tax Twitter. It's popped up on LinkedIn a few times, and I've shared my opinion. But I thought I'd go to an even greater resource, one that's going to pull a bunch of information to me. And I went to my friend ChatGPT 4.0 and I asked the simple question to start with: how much should a business be paying for accounting services? And honestly, it gave me this long answer, breaking it down between small business, medium-sized business, and larger business, broke it down between full accounting departments, tax services, as well as CFO services and payroll. And it also then added in some really good factors affecting cost, which I think are really good. And I'm going to share those with you because I think it's really important. Their cost varied between the businesses. And I'm going to go into it further because I asked a follow-up question specifically for wineries because that will help me better gauge my costs. So, like I said, three businesses. They went less than 1 million, 1 million to 10 million, which they're saying is medium, and then 10 million plus. On the small business side, and I sort of operate in the 500 to 2.5 million. That's like a bread and butter type size. So let's assume the 1 million business. They're saying bookkeeping should be $300 to $1,000 per month. Tax prep, about $2,500 a year. Payroll services, $500 per month. And basic advisory services are $500 to $2,000 per month. So we offer the bookkeeping, the senior accountant, controllership, and CFO-like type services. We do a lot of that basic advisory service where we consult, talk, have conversations, pay bills, all those types of things. So what this is telling me, for $1 million business, somebody should be paying $3,500 per month, right? I'm going to pull out my old cell phone over here, type in the calculator, 3,500 times by 12, 42,000, 42,000 divided by 1 million times by 100, 4.2%. They're suggesting on the small business size, 4.2% before taking into account taxes. So add a little bit to that, 2,500, so call it 4.5% all in. I generally talk about 3 to 5%. So maybe I'm not too far off. Maybe I'm sort of in the right ballpark. They do then talk about the factors affecting the cost, and they go specific industry needs. Business in highly regulated industries like wine, healthcare, and finance may pay more due to the complexity of compliance. So if your business is in a complex environment where there is a lot of compliance factors to take into account, you probably are going to pay more. Level of service is another factor that they talk about. It says here whether the business needs basic bookkeeping, advanced financial reporting, or strategic advisory like CFO services could affect the cost that you're paying for your accounting services. So the more you want, the more you'll pay. So if your scope of work goes from these 3 items to these 5 items, expect that these 5 items will cost more than those 3 items, especially if you're going to a provider that is seen as better than the one you're currently with. And then obviously the one area that they have is frequency of service. Regular monthly service are often priced differently from one-time service like tax filings and orders. 100%. Cleanup projects cost way more money. I bill them at a higher rate than I would once-off services. That's a once-off service when you come in. So just there, we're talking, I think that 3 to 5% is probably pretty comfortable. I feel pretty good about that. And that includes tax. So it gets me confused why business owners will come in like, hey, I have $1 million business. I don't want to pay more than $10,000 all in. Payroll, bookkeeping, taxes, and I want to be able to talk to you. How does that make sense? What do you think you will get for that type of price? It feels a little short-sighted. But as I said, we work in wineries. They specifically mention wineries. So I thought, let me ask about it, right? And I'm thinking wineries is anything with cost accounting is what they're really looking about it. Anything with high compliance, lots of sales tax issues, lots of winery reporting issues. So I asked them, what do these numbers look like for wineries? For wineries, accounting services often require specialized expertise due to the complexity of inventory management, cost accounting, compliance with industry regulations, and specific tax laws. Here are some tailored breakdown accounting costs for wineries based on sizes and needs. Again, they break it down: small winery, less than $1 million, medium wineries, 1 to 10 million, large wineries, $10 million plus. Now before I get into it, I'm going to jump to the highlights. I asked them to give me what those percentages look like. Small wineries, 3 to 7%. Medium wineries, 1.5 to 3%. Now this is where it gets a little iffy, because I think that bracket of 1 to 10 million is too big. I think there's a 1 to 5 million, probably a 5 to 10 million. That should have been differentiated. So I think there needs to be a little bit of nuance when it comes to that portion. And I definitely think they're underselling the services on a large winery, because they're talking about wineries in excess of 10 million being like 2%. And I can see the big gap in here. They're just undervaluing the price of the outsourced accounting. Maybe it should be fine. Probably a bit more expensive if you internalize it. They do talk about 15,000 per month for full cost accounting. Sure. Cost accounting, inventory management, another 15,000 per month. Tax services, anything from $15,000 to $50,000. That makes a lot of sense to me. Payroll services, $1,500 to $3,000. Sure. CFO services, $5,000 to $20,000. $20,000, $240,000 a year for a CFO. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So the percentages feel a little low for me. Again, these brackets are really big, and that's what's probably doing it. But when I look at the individual numbers, those make sense on the large side. So I feel pretty comfortable there. So I go back down to the small winery, and they talk about basic bookkeeping and accounting, $500 to $1,500 per month. $500 to $1,500 per month. They then separate out cost accounting and inventory management to $1,000 to $3,000 per month. Reconciliation of inventory in multiple warehouses is complicated. It takes a lot of time. Costings are complicated and take a lot of time, even if they're only done once or twice a year. These costs add up. These are specialized services that need to be done with people that understand your industry, understand the area of accounting. It is difficult to get the books of a winery correct, and industry knowledge makes a difference. And a good accountant giving you good bookkeeping and good accounting, cost accounting on a regular basis, on a timely basis, so you can make good business decisions, will help your business. I probably am overthinking this. I'm probably getting a little frustrated out of necessity, because I know what we're worth. I know that we're on the affordable side, but I just want businesses to be successful. And in their minds that they can't pay more than a couple of $100s for accounting, when it's doing so much for their business, it's giving them valuable information to assess what's going on and give them the information on a timely basis to pivot, to make changes, to try be successful, to manage their cash flow, to make sure people are paid on time, to stay compliant, and you have a set of books that you can give to your tax person at the end of the year and they can get their taxes done, and you don't want to have to pay for it. I don't know. I don't know why we think that the surface that can be very critical to your business, if done the correct way, is not worth the pennies that you have been asked to pay. Accounting is important. I really do believe that. But instead of just like me totally ranting on about the price of accounting and where I think 3 to 5% from everything I've read, everything I've got on tax Twitter. Now, granted, if you're a pure service business, you're just offering services, or even a direct-to-consumer company, just online, and your product is just working through your system pretty quickly, sure, it can be less than 3%. But I'm talking 3 to 5%, everything included. Your bookkeeping and accounting, your consulting, your taxes, your compliance, everything. I'm not sure how we think that is a little bit like too much money, but that's okay. It's my job at the end of the day to explain to you how us helping you will add value to your life and your business. The number one way, and you can go look at the reviews on our Google account, you can go look at the reviews on our website, but the big one why you want to pay for good accounting services, and know that your books are in a great place and that you're looking at information that is accurate and truly depicts your business, is peace of mind. Because there is nothing worse than going to bed and going, can I trust my financial information? Is it correct? Is it true? Can I use it? It's probably only like close, like problem child in terms of like pure compliance is going to bed and going, oh my gosh, I still didn't do my accounting. I'm months behind. I've got to catch up. How do I get my bookkeeping up to date? I've got deadlines on compliance I need to file. And that happens when you try to do it yourself. Other than the stress, it is a terrible use of your time. Use your time to run your business. Use your time to sell your products. I don't even do my own accounting. I have somebody do it for me because it is critical to my business and I know it needs to be done on time. So I have good information so I can make good business decisions. And I'm willing to pay for that. And I truly believe you need to pay for it as well. Because here's some of the reasons. Here are the costs. And I asked ChatGPT because I'm like, I'm too emotionally invested in the importance of accounting. I am blinders on. I am an accountant. I sell accounting services. Sure, I understand it. I'm too emotionally invested. I believe everybody should be willing to pay for good accounting service because it will help their business. So again, too emotional about this. So again, I'm going to my buddy ChatGPT. Give me some reasons. What is the actual question? What is the cost of not having good accounting? And I got a long answer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. We got 8 reasons. And it starts with financial management. And it gives me 2 points underneath that. Cash flow issues as well as inaccurate financial information. They're saying if you have bad financial information, you might not understand that you're going to run into a cash flow problem because you're not aware of those bills that you need to pay, or if sales are slowed down, or your collections are poor because you have no idea about it. This could lead to extra costs, penalties, and an even bigger one is that you could damage relationships. You also didn't pay a vendor on time. So now they're like, I don't trust you. You're going to have to pay catch up rent. Or I don't trust you. I'm going to go to somebody else that I know will pay me on time. Not great for your business. The other arm into that was inaccurate financial information. Believe it or not, business owners use their financials to make business decisions. And if you're looking at information that is unreliable, incomplete, and inaccurate, you're going to make poor decisions. And those decisions could lead to the downfall of your business. So number one priority of getting good accounting is improve financial management. Number two is very much a winery focus, cost accounting focus number, and that's inventory and cost accounting errors. The number of times I've picked up a book and they tell me my books are in great space, and I go to the balance sheet and there's negative inventory accounts, or I pull the inventory summary and there's negative SKUs, is so often it is scary. That means there is a mistake. If there's a mistake in your inventory, there's a mistake in your profit and loss. Something is not correct. And if you're getting the costing incorrect, there's a good chance that you're making decisions on margins that are not accurate. And in a worst case scenario, there could be costs sitting on your balance sheet that if it comes to a transaction time, you need to flush out, and also that negatively affects your profitability, which could affect the price that somebody's willing to pay for your business, which would have a long-term effect on your ability outside of your business. Getting inventory costing has so many implications in the decision making, the margin analysis, the SKU assessment, should I keep it or not, and in the long run could have a negative effect on the value of your business. Number three is tax compliance and penalties. Remember, you need accounting records to do taxes. Your tax provider can't just make numbers up. So it's accurate. It gives you the best opportunity to be in the best tax position. Number four they list out is missed business opportunities. Yeah, if you don't really know how much money you're making, how much cash you have, what you need to use that cash for, it could make you nervous to take up opportunities that come your way. Missed opportunities could lead to the downfall of your business. Missed opportunities could make you less competitive in the market. Missed opportunities could cost you that important investment that could take your business to the next level. And not to mention, just on the, if you need debt side of it, they need good accounting records in the format of your industry so they can assess it for risk versus other similar businesses and decide how much money they're willing to give you. You don't have that cash flow, you can't take the opportunities, your business growth is stunned. Number five is operational inefficiencies. This digs into the budgeting and forecasting, and I think it is important. Understanding where you're going is really, really important. But to understand and make a plan forward, you have to understand what happened in the past. So you can either recreate it, say, okay, that was working for us, we're going to do it again, or make changes because we feel like we could spend more money here, take some money away there. Make adjustments to your business for the forecast, the plan, so you can keep making good decisions, thinking about it, understanding where you're overspending and where you can make adjustments in your business. Number six, they mentioned regulatory compliance failures. Yeah, there's sales tax is just a starting point. You need good accounting information, and maybe your POS handles that for you and you can get away with it. But you do need good information to make sure you're reporting accurately, because if you get compliance wrong, fines, penalties, legal fees, maybe your reputation gets damaged, maybe your business gets closed down. Messing up on the regulatory side is not a good idea. And I'm not even getting into the winery side. Highly regulated. Every state has its own rules. And then you've got the overall TTB, the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. Big scary guy. Got to get that reporting right. Good accounting information, good inventory management, good record keeping will allow you to stay out of trouble. They've got number seven, damage to reputation. For sure. Especially if you're going to a bank, you're going to an investor, you're trying to go into an M&A transaction. If all of a sudden your financials are a total mess, you're going to lose confidence in the people that you're working with, become harder, and you're going to lose your multiples. It's a mess, right? It's just a mess. And again, we spoke about it earlier, you miss paying a vendor, you miss a payroll. Like, these are the things that can break your reputation. And once your reputation's damaged, it's really hard to come back from it. What we all need to do is protect our reputation, our good character, try to do good things, and run businesses efficiently and effectively. Don't make anybody around you doubt what you're doing just because you don't have a good accounting partner. And the last one they talk about is the inability to scale. And I've sort of touched on that as we've gone along here. But getting good information allows you to better assess, show you where to use your capital, make decisions on different SKUs, changing your business processes, changing how you're running your business, understanding the cost of your product so you can make small adjustments to improve your margins. Without that information, it's hard, right? Things move really quickly. Even in a slow inventory cycle business like wine, things move and change. People around us change. People's tastes change. The way the world is operating changes. Good accounting can help you run the business better. And honestly, 3 to 5% does not feel like a lot of money. We have to stop thinking that accounting is just this grudge purchase that we put in place just because we have to be compliant. We have to start thinking about our accountants as an investment in our business and an investment in our decision making. ChatGPT agrees with me, 3 to 5% feels perfectly acceptable. And the costs of not doing it are financial mismanagement, inventory and cost accounting errors, tax compliance and penalty errors, missed business opportunities, operational inefficiencies, regulatory compliance failures, damage to reputation, inability to scale. None of those sound great. All of those sound like a difficult business that's at risk of going out of business. Now, I'm not saying accounting is some magic pill that will help you be successful, but it is also not going to stop you being successful. Good accounting is going to give you the truth of what happened in the past, help you plan for the future, and give you the opportunity to be successful. As we spoke about last week, now is the right time to consider what is going on in your accounting. Are you happy with your day-to-day accounting services? Are you happy that CFO is your tax provider doing everything necessary to put you in the best position? If you say no to any one of those, make a change and understand that it might cost you a little bit more, but the benefits are going to totally outweigh it, especially if you treat the relationship like a partnership and not just a grudge purchase. Accounting does cost money. Fact of life. You are paying for expertise. You're paying for people with knowledge, experience, and people who understand what goes into the financials to give you the best possible picture of your business. Accounting costs money. It is not a grudge purchase. Go find yourself a good accountant. It doesn't have to cost a fortune, but it does cost something. I hope you all find the accountant that your business needs. And accountants, value yourself. You're making a difference in business's life on a daily basis if you're doing a good job. Have a great week. Be kind. Goodbye.